Hello, Rachel. So the recording is live. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Okay, okay. Let me know when you see my screen.
Yes, I can
Okay,
see your screen.
thank you. So, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Rachel Rabo. I'm a Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, a Power Apps and Power Automate developer, and also a Dynamics 365 customer engagement developer. So, while we go through this class, if you have any questions at any point, please just unmute your mic and ask your questions. Thank you. Okay, so the agenda we have for today is to
Hi
actually,
Rachel, sorry to cut you. Please do the
yeah,
slideshow.
okay, sorry. Yeah, just remembered. Okay, so the agenda we have for today is to understand what is Microsoft Power Apps, the types of Power Apps Studio, users experience, and also to work on a demo on Power Apps. So we're just going to go ahead to understand what is Microsoft Power Apps. So Microsoft Power Apps is what we use to build applications. It's a low code, no code platform, low code platform, which is part of the Power Platform. You get to build applications to solve business problem with using you can use programming languages, and when I mean programming languages, you can use HTML, that's scripting language. You can use HTML, you can use JavaScript, you can use React, and so many other programming languages. And also you can build applications without using. You can build applications without using any type of code, any type of programming languages. And in Power Apps, we have different types of Power Apps. We have the Canvas app, we have the modern driven apps, and also the Porter apps. So the Canvas app, the name Canvas app, you get to build your application from scratch. You get to connect to different data sources. You can connect to Excel, you can connect to SQL, you can connect to so many data sources with Canvas app. And you get to build your app from, you get the opportunity to work on the way you want your app to look like you have free reins on how you want your application to look like. And also we have modern driven apps. So for modern driven apps, the only data source you can connect to is your Microsoft Dataverse, which Lola will be taking for the next class. So the only for modern driven app, the only data source you can connect to is your Dataverse. And with modern driven app, you get to build the solutions with you have to start your solution with data modeling, like your data what your data is saying that is going to be your application. You do not have too much you do not have too much opportunity to be able to, like the way you have in Canvas app, where you have the opportunity to actually build it from scratch with modern driven app. Yeah. Then we also have your Portals app. So your Portals app is actually like a website where you get for Canvas app and modern driven app is actually used internally, like maybe an organization or a business. It's actually used internally. Then for Portals app is used externally for users. So you can actually share a link. You can actually they can sign in. You can create like a they can you can create a page where they can sign in. They can create an account with Portals, and the data source they use for Portals app is actually Microsoft Dataverse. Yeah. So we are going to be talking about Canvas app today. So and for Canvas app, we have our Power App Studio in Canvas app. So that is where you have the opportunity to develop your application. You have the opportunity to work with controls with different property, and also you get to use Power FX formulas to build your application. So in this class, we're actually going to be looking at Power App Studio, the way it looks like, and also give us a better understanding of how to work with our environment when building an application. So for our Power App Studio, if you can see on my screen, you can see that this is actually an application on my screen, and you can see the different numbering. So for our left navigation bar, which is 1, you can see that we have our tree view, we have our data source. You can see everything we have here. And when you are building an application, the first thing that comes out is actually a screen. But when you start building your application, you start adding controls and giving them a name. So that's what you're actually seeing at this particular point. So that's everything you're seeing here. You're seeing your button, your gallery, and everything at this place is actually showing on your Power App Studio, which is on your canvas. So this is the screen. Then we have our middle pane, which is number 2, which is our canvas, where your application, the application you're actually building shows. Then our right hand pane is like the properties. Like for instance, you want to make changes to the control or to the gallery or the screen. You can easily move to the left hand side of your screen and easily make those changes. And also, either you can move to this particular side of your screen, or you can move to properties and just click on this drop down. If you can notice, you can see text on your screen. You can easily just click on it. It's a drop down, and you get to see different properties where you can make changes to your application. Then the next thing we have is our formula bar. So this formula bar, if you can see text, this item dot price. So this particular place you're seeing right now is actually a formula bar, which is number 5. So it's actually a formula bar where you get to add your Power FX formula. So this particular function right here is actually text function. You get to write your Power FX formula in this formula bar. Then we have your ribbon, which is number 6. So where you have your home insert view action, you have your border, everything here. This is your ribbon, like the way you have in, I don't know if anybody guys if we use PowerPoint and also Excel. Does anybody here use PowerPoint or Excel? Hi everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, great. Okay, so like the way you use your PowerPoint or your Excel, you also have your ribbon on your screen. So this is the same thing we have here on our Power Apps, but the things we have here, they are a little bit different, but that is what your ribbon is. Then we have additional items. So the additional items is the app checker, the play, which is this, like when you want to play your application, where you want to add a user to your app, and also you want to check, maybe you are having an error in your app, you want to check, okay, what the issue is. You can actually use your accessibility checker to check what the problem is on your app. And we also have your breadcrumbs. So your breadcrumbs is actually number 8, which is your main screen, your device gallery, and also your subtitle. So these are the things you're actually touching, like that place you are seeing Microsoft is actually the gallery. Then you have this particular screen right here is the main screen, which is the first screen. Then the gallery, which is the device gallery, and also the subtitle, which $499 is. So we're going to understand the different ways to build a Canvas Power Apps. So you can build your Canvas app from either a template, from a data source, or and also from a blank canvas. So when you say building your application from a template, we mean that they are actually in the Power Apps environment. They are actually templates in the Power Apps environment where you can easily create your app, where it has already been built already. So you can easily connect your data source, or you can understand how you can use it to actually learn how the application works. Like, okay, this is how this was built, this is how this was built. You can use it to learn, or maybe you are working on a problem, you're trying to solve a problem with Power Apps, and you see that, okay, this particular template here solves the problem I'm trying to work towards. It's actually works towards the business requirements I need for this application. So you can actually use a template. Then from data source, if you see the Power Apps environment, after this, we're going to move to Power Apps and view everything we have said here. From data source, you can actually see, you see Excel, SQL, Excel, SQL, you see Dataverse, and also SharePoint, where it actually creates a three-screen view application for you. Then we also have from blank canvas. That is when you click on create a blank canvas with Canvas app, and you get to build your application from scratch. So another thing, we're going to try and refresh our memory. Please feel free to unmute your mic or just paste your answer on the chat. What type of Power Apps can I use to build an application with data from Excel? A, model-driven app. B, Porters app. C, Canvas app. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, okay. So I'm asking, what type of Power Apps can I use to build? I'm asking a question. What type of Power Apps can I use to build an application with data from Excel? A, model-driven app. B, Porters app. C, Canvas app. Nobody knows.
It could be
Model
model
driven app.
driven app.
Mm, any other suggestion? Any other answer?
Canvas app.
Yeah, that's correct. Canvas app. I think I was going too fast. Okay. Thank you very much for the answer. It's actually Canvas app. So what I said for model-driven app, our data source is solely on Microsoft Dataverse, and also for Portals app too. But with Canvas app, you have the opportunity of connecting to different data sources, where you have the opportunity to connect to Excel, you have the opportunity to connect to SQL, and so many other data sources. So the answer for this is actually Canvas app. Yeah. So we're going to move ahead. So for PowerFX formula, PowerFX formula is like the coding language of Power Apps. Like instead of using Java, instead of using React, like if you actually use to Excel, if you're actually used to using Excel, using formulas in Excel, it's just like Excel for the Power FX formula. It's a coding language used for, it has its own coding language, which you can use for Power Apps. So you get to use different functions where you get to use the patch function, you get to use the submit form function, you get to use the navigation function. So there are a lot of things that the Power FX formula has that will actually help you to build applications with Canvas app. So it's very important that when you are learning Power Apps, it's very important that you have an idea of the different Power FX formula that you can use when building an application. So for screen navigation, like for instance, I want to move my screen from screen 1 to screen 2. Or let's say for an example, I just opened my Facebook account and I signed into my Facebook account. So when I signed in and when I enter my data and I click on sign in, supposed to, after clicking on sign in, it's supposed to take me to another screen. So this is what this screen navigation is basically doing, and is a Power FX formula, which is the navigate function. So navigate, I'll write my screen name, the name of my screen, then screen transition. You can even just do it screen name, then close the bracket. And you can add, or you can add your screen transition dot fade. Okay. Okay, so you can add your screen transition, which takes you to your specific screen. And we also have our back function. So our back function, what it actually does is just to actually take you to your previous screen. So for instance, I have an application, and that application has 3 screens, which is your home screen. Okay, let's say your sign-in screen, your sign-in screen, your menu screen, your profile screen. Okay, let's say 3 screen. So when I sign into my application and it navigates me, I use my navigate function. It navigates me to my menu screen. So when I go to my menu screen and I think that, okay, I want to, when I go to my menu screen and I think, okay, I want to go back to, I want to sign in with another account. I want to sign in with another account. So I can actually just use my back function for my icon. I can use my back function for my icon, which will take me to my previous screen. But with that back function, I cannot use it to move to my profile screen, because the back function is taking me to my previous screen. And also in screen navigation, we also have the exit function, which logs out that particular user from the application. Yeah. Okay. Then for this, we have different variables in Power Apps. Like we have our global variable. What the global variable is that you can use it when you create a global variable in your application. You can use it in any part of your screen. Like you can use it any part of your screen. And it's actually started with set. When you are trying to use it inside your app, it's actually set. Like you can see the example here. We have set current name. So this current name we are seeing here is actually the variable. So we have our global variable, which you can use anywhere in your application. Then we also have the context variable, which you can pass values to a screen. So you can see primary functions, navigate, updates, context, which you can use in a screen. Then we have your collection. We also have your collection. Like there's something I think I missed when I started this. We have different data sources, like different data connections you can use to build your application. But if you say that, okay, I don't want to use, maybe there's a particular screen I'm actually building on, or I'm building this application and I do not want to use a data source, you can actually create a local data inside of your app. Like you can create data inside of your application with collection. So you get to create a table inside of your application with collection. So where you have your collect, clear, collect, update, and remove. And you can also save this data to your local device. You can use it with save data and also load data. Please, as I'm going through this, if you have any questions, please feel free to unmute your mic and ask your questions. Thank you. Okay, so in Microsoft Power Apps, we have form, and this is actually a part of the Power FX formula. We have different forms. So we have the submit form formula, the submit form Power FX function, which is used to, for instance, I enter data into my okay, let's say I'm signing for an account, and I enter data into that particular page, I entered my name, I entered my email address, my password, and everything on that page. And I'm actually trying to save the data. So for Power Apps, when I use Power Apps to build that application, the function I'm using to save that data is actually the submit form. So you can use it to save data or use it to change data. Maybe you already have your data form, you already have your data saved already, and you want to edit that data. So I can go back and change my email from rachelirabo@outlook.com to rachelirabo8@outlook.com and save my data into my table. Yeah. So then the new form is used to set a form for creating a new record. Like you want to create a new record, like I said before, the example I gave for submit form, I want to create a new record, so I can actually use my new form function to create it. So all these functions you are seeing, after writing new form, I get to open a bracket, write the name of the form, and close the bracket. Then we also have edit form. So I already have for edit form, I already have my data already. For example, I already have my data and I want to edit that data. So I can easily use my edit form function to edit the data, or to add a data that is not there already. Edit mode of the form, like edit mode of the form. Edit mode of the, well, I think it would be better if I actually show you how it looks like than explaining it. Then we also have reset form, like you already entered data into the form and you want the form to, maybe after entering data, you want the form to reset. So that is when you use the reset form. So the assessment we are going to be doing after this class, we are going to be completing a learning part, and also we are going to complete a Power Apps lab. So I'm just going to end this and we're going to go there. Let me see if I can actually add. Okay. I don't think I have access to the chat. Okay, so that's not going to be a problem. I think after the class, we're going to get the links and also the Excel sheets and also the PDF in order to follow a step-by-step process that will help us understand more about Power Apps. Okay. Okay, so every one of us here, do we have an account? Do we have a Power Apps account? Have we created our account? Hi, everyone.
Yes, I have one.
Okay, that's great. Okay.
Yes, I also have an account.
Okay. Just 2 persons.
I have to.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so if you see, I actually went to make.powerapps.com. You can actually still go to office.com to access your Power Apps environment. I think, okay, let me try signing in. Okay, so when you go to office.com, you can easily just click on the app launcher and then click on Power Apps. So you have different ways to access your Power Apps. So you can either go to make.powerapps.com or you can go to office.com. Okay, so this is our Power Apps environment. And in our Power Apps environment, we have different, do we have anything like this on our environment? Do we have a default environment and a developer environment? Hi, everyone.
Guys, please let's try to respond to Rachel and let's try to make this class as interactive as possible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Please,
trying to
where
put
did
my
you
mind.
touch to show this environment part?
Okay, I actually just touched on, if you can see on your screen, there's a place called environment. Thank you, Lola. There's a place
Okay.
called environment. I just clicked on it and it's actually showing me the environment in my screen.
Okay,
Do
yes,
we all have,
yes, I have it.
okay, you
I
have
have it.
something like this, right? Okay, that's
Yes.
perfect. Okay, does everybody else have this? Not exactly the same name, but you have something looking like this. Because the reason why I'm trying to ask is that your default environment is actually created with your, when you are trying to create your Microsoft 365 developer license. So after creating it, you also have to go further to create your Power Apps community plan. So which created my developer environment for me, and which is much better than using your default environment, especially if you want to use other Power Platform tools like Power Visual Agents. You actually have to create an environment. You actually have to create a developer environment for them, or you are going to end up using a trial environment that lasts for only 30 days. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead. Okay, so this is my home environment, like the slides we went through. So this is where you have your blank app, you have your different data source, which you can build a three-screen view application. You have your data vars, SharePoint, Excel, SQL, and also Figma, where you get to build with by uploading the image. Okay, this is you upload the image, and we also have Figma. Yeah. So these different learning paths that you can actually read through to learn more. These different learning paths, you can click on see all to go through them. Then if you already build applications already, this is going to show you the applications you have built. And then we're going to go to create. So when you go down, we talked about templates. So this is where you see your different templates. You can see your model-driven app. You can also see templates built with Canvas app. So you can actually go through them and learn more on how to build an application. So this is them. Then we also have your learn. Okay, I think you also have your learn where you also see learning resources. Then apps, same thing. If you are using Microsoft Dataverse, I think we're just going to be fast about it. We have a little time. This is where it shows your Microsoft Dataverse standard tables. That is this is recommended. You have your custom tables and you have your standard tables. So your standard tables are those tables that they come with your app, like they come with the Power Apps environment. And your custom tables are those tables that you created on your own, on managed solutions that you created on your own. So we're just going to just go ahead and create our application because we don't have time. So what we're going to be doing today, we're going to be following a learning path on how to, we're going to be following a learning path, which is going to be part of our assessments for today. So we're just going to, so we're going to actually be following this learning path, build a Canvas app application. And what the data source we're going to be using from this application is actually a three-screen view app. So we're just going to see the way it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and actually build the application. So I'm just going to click on Dataverse. We can actually build this together if we still have time. So are we all here in our environment? Are we at this particular place in Power Apps?
Yes.
Okay, so let's go
Yes.
together. So let's go together and click on Dataverse.
Okay.
Yeah.
Data. Okay.
No, sorry, mistake. We're actually we are using Excel. Please just go back. been
Okay.
using Dataverse lately. Okay. So just scroll down and click on Excel.
Okay.
Yeah. So based on you actually created a new account, so I'm very sure you do not have a connection here. So we're going to be clicking on new connection. I'm going to click on new connection. Then after clicking on new connection, we're going to look for OneDrive for Business. After clicking on new connection, we're going to look for OneDrive for Business. So when we get to OneDrive for Business, we're just going to click on it. Are we there?
Yes.
Okay. Then we're going to click on Create.
Okay.
Then sign into your account. After signing into your account, then click on Allow Access. So we're doing that. I've already created a connection to my OneDrive for Business. So I don't know if we're all yet together.
I
I
am.
think. Okay. So I'm going to, so what is happening right now is that if you can actually go to, I think we're just going to watch now. If you can go to, after this class, you can actually get like the assessment, then you can follow it because you need to work with the Excel. You need to work with the Excel sheets, and this is the link to the Excel sheets. So in case if you get to this particular point, this is the link to the Excel sheet. So after the class, you can actually just go through it. So right now I'm going to look for, so what is happening here now is that I've already uploaded the Excel sheet to my OneDrive for Business account. And if you ask me, how can I access OneDrive for Business? You can just click on App Launcher. Then this is OneDrive for Business. Click on OneDrive for Business. Then you get to upload your Excel sheet to OneDrive for Business. So I'm going to look for my Excel sheet. So this is my Excel sheet. Contoso site tracking. So I'm just going to click on it. Then this is the table inside of my Excel sheet. So there's one thing to notice in this particular point is that even if now you are not working with this particular table given, normally if you are working with Excel sheet, you have to make sure that your is in a table. Like you have to make sure that your Excel sheet is actually in a table. If not, you cannot be able to use it to build an application in Power Apps. So I'm just going to click on Site Inspector, then click on Connect. So we're doing this. This is actually going to build an application for us. It's going to build a 3-screen view application for us where we get to make little changes to it. So I noticed
Sorry.
earlier that, okay, yeah.
Please, how did you get here? Because I checked my own OneDrive for Business. I'm not having any of these attachments.
Yeah, that's fine. What's happening is that you do not have an Excel sheet inside of your OneDrive for Business. So what you
Okay.
are going to do is that you are going to go to this learning part is going to be shared to everyone. You are going to go to the learning part, then
Okay.
you are going to download this zip file. After downloading the zip file, you are going to extract the Excel sheets inside of the zip file. Then you are going to go to how to access OneDrive for Business is that you are just going to click on App Launcher, then click on OneDrive. So after clicking on OneDrive for Business, you're just going to click on Upload and click on Files. So that's how to upload your Excel sheet.
Okay.
Okay, please can you mute your mic? Okay, so after clicking on that particular table, it's actually created a theory view application for me, which is my browse screen, my detail screen, and also my edit screen. So if you can see this particular environment we have here, this is our Power App Studio, and this is what we're looking at our slides. This is actually the environment we're looking at our slide. So the thing I'm going to be doing here is that earlier I noticed that the pictures were not showing. I don't know what happened, why the pictures was not showing like the way it's showing for them at this particular point. So we're just going to skip that and see what we can do on the application. So the thing we're going to be doing here is that we're just going to make it more user-friendly. That's the only thing we're going to be doing on this application, because the application has already been built for us. So if you can see on this particular screen, this is our gallery. You can see it's browse gallery, and to be able to access your gallery, you're just going to click on inserts and click on vertical gallery. So in order to, after this class, in order to actually build from scratch and actually understand better on how to like understand the different controls, understand the different properties, we are going to have a Power Apps Lab PDF, which will give you a step-by-step process. It's broken down into step-by-step process. So if you have any questions, you can actually reach out and ask. It's broken down into simple steps that you can easily follow, and it will make you understand more that, okay, this is what is happening here. If I'm building my own application, this is what I can do, this is what I can do. So what we are seeing here right now is actually our gallery screen. And if you notice, I'm just going to click on play. Then if you notice something here is that we actually have, like, most of the words here are hidden. So I want to try and correct that. I want to make sure that everything is showing. So I'm just going to click on gallery at the left side of my screen, which is the left pane. Then I'm going to go to the middle pane and click on, if you can see that small, I'm just going to expand my screen. Okay, I think that was even better. Okay, so you're going to see that small icon, that small edit icon. I'm just going to click on it, then expand it. After expanding this, I'm going to click on this particular thing we have inside, which is a text input, which is a label. I'm just going to expand it because I want everything to show, so you can see it's actually better than the way it was before. So you have to, when you're building an application, you have to think about, okay, while I'm building this application, there are going to be different users who are using this application. It might be a person who is using a laptop. It might be a person who is using a phone. It might be a person who is using a tablet. So in order to, hi, please can you mute your mic? So in order to actually make changes, I have to think about my user. So in order to actually make changes to this app, I'm just going to click on the gallery, go to the right side, the right pane of my screen. That's the right hand side of my screen. I'm going to scroll down and go to show scroll bar and click on. So you're going to see the difference on my screen. You can see I can easily just scroll through. You can see the difference than the way it was before. So I can easily scroll through, and always remember to save your app. Like, always remember to save your app, because Power Apps use, like, if your data network is not that strong, you might just build, and within seconds you can just lose everything. When everything disconnects, you're trying to save, nothing is happening, or you just log out, or your system goes off, everything you have built, it's gone. So I'm just going to click on save. You can see on the right side of my screen, you can see this icon. You can click on save, or you can just easily click on your keyboard, Control S. So when you click on Control S, just name your app. So we're just going to name this Textiles and click on save. So after doing that, we're going to try to understand what is happening here on our screen. So we already understand our gallery. Please, if you have any questions, I know we have little time, but if you have any questions, we're all here to learn. So if you have any questions, please, please, please feel free to ask your questions. Just unmute your mic and ask your questions. So the next thing,
Hello.
hi.
Good morning, all. Please, sorry to interrupt. I don't know why I can't see your screen, or maybe you're not sharing it because the way it seems you're sharing. I joined as a guest. I don't really know. I can't see anything. I
Okay.
can't even chat. Yes.
Okay. Hi everyone. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes, I
I
can see.
can
I can
I
see
can
your
see your
screen.
screen.
Okay, I think you should log out and log in again, like end the call and join again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Okay. So for this, if you can see on this particular gallery, there's actually like a icon. This is a navigation icon. So there's actually a navigation icon. And if I play my application, if I click on this particular icon, I can see the details of this particular Bellevue, like this particular site. I can see which is this particular screen here is our detail screen. We're going to go into that. But with clicking on this navigation, I can see that particular screen. Let's see if clicking on any part of the screen is going to work. So you can easily just hide. You can easily delete this navigation icon or you can hide it. And in order to hide it, I'm just going to go to properties and go to visible and change it from true to false. So changing it to false, actually you can see you're no longer seeing it anymore. So you can click on any particular point. You can click on any particular point. And if I want to make that particular gallery more responsive, if I want to make the gallery more responsive, I can just easily click on the gallery again, go to the right hand side and change the transition from none to pop. Let's see how it looks like. So you can see when I touch it, it's actually moving like the way it was before. So when I touch any particular point, you can see the difference. Okay, so remember to save. So another thing to notice here on our browse screen is that we actually have different icons. Like you can see different icons on our screen. So this particular thing you're seeing here is an icon, is a search icon. And in order to get your search icon, you can easily just go to icon. You can see this is where you can access your different icons. There's one thing to notice too when building application. Instead of writing search on that particular place, places you know that you can easily use an icon for it. Use an icon. Like maybe you want to show your user that okay, when you click on this particular place, it will delete the data in the screen. Instead of using the text word delete, you can easily use an icon for that. So those are the different places you can use an icon in order to make the screen not too like to be like there's no space, too much things are happening in the application and actually not user friendly. So then the other thing you are seeing here, this is also an icon. This is a refresh icon. You're trying to refresh your data. And if you click on this refresh, we actually have a power effects function here, which is you're trying to refresh the data. So you can see if you click on, like you're trying to understand, maybe you are saying that, okay, I want to understand what this power effects function is actually doing here. I want to understand what it is. You can easily just click on it. See, if I click on this, I'm saying refresh connected data source. So you can see it's actually trying to refresh the data source, which is the Excel sheet you connected to this place, the OneDrive for Business you connected to this place. So you can see, you can actually just click on it and understand, okay, what is this particular function doing? Or what is this particular thing here doing? So I'm just going to click on this icon too. So this is a sort icon where you get to click on it. So we're going to click on it and see what happens. You can see there's actually a change on it. So if I click on it again, it actually changes to it. So you can see the power effects function that is used here, which is our update context. So if I click on this, you can see update context, a record that specifies new value for some or all of the context variable in the current screen. Then we have our plus. This is like our plus this is our plus icon, our add icon. So when we're talking about form, we talked about submit form, we talked about edit form, we talked about new form. So you can see this new form is actually for, you're trying to, let's just play it, let's see what happens there. Okay. You see, when I click on my edit form, it's actually going to take me to this particular screen. So you can see it's taking you to like a screen that there is nothing on it. See? You're trying to create new data into your form, into your data source. So then also for this particular point too, we also have our label. So in order to add it, just click on insert and then click on text label in order to add that. Okay, Ctrl Z. In order to add that, so you can see this is a text property that the site inspector was added. So you can either add it from this point or you can add it from this particular point. Then we're going to go ahead with the detail screen. So the detail screen is actually showing the data inside of the gallery. And in this gallery, you can also edit your fields. Like you can say how you want your data to show, like for the body of this data, it's showing the description, photo, city, and address. So this is what you're actually showing from your data source in your gallery. And it has different layouts that you want your screen, your gallery to look like. You can make it show just title, subtitle, and body, image and title. You can make it blank. You can make it title and subtitle. So you can change it any way you want to change it to. And you can actually just change it to just images and labels. Like the image is more pronounced than the way it is right now. Okay. So we are going to go ahead to our detail screen. So our detail screen is actually showing the information, the full information, like the full information from our gallery screen, our browse screen one. And this particular thing we are seeing here is actually our form. Like it's a form we're actually seeing here. And in order to add it, you just to click on insert, look for our form. You can see it's our display form. So what we have here is actually our display form. You can actually still use your edit form, then then you can change it from edit to display. You can change the display mode from edit to display. So for this one, you can see our display mode is actually on view. It's actually on view. So this is the data, and you get to choose the way you want everything to come out. Like how you do that is that you go to the right side of your screen, you click on edit fields. So you can add field to it. You can also drag it. Like maybe for instance, I want ID to show first. I can easily just click on ID and drag it to the top, or I can easily just click on the three dots at the side, and I have the opportunity of clicking move down. So that's the way that works. And also, we also have our edit screen, and you can see in our detail screen, we have also our text label, we have icons, you can see we have our edit form, and we also have our navigation function. We also have our delete. We also have our delete icon where you see our back function. And also we have our remove function. So if I can see this is deleting the collection, the item, the browse gallery, which is the gallery from screen one. So then we can go further and see we also have this icon which is navigating to the browse screen. Then we have our edit screen. This is also a form. This is an edit form where you get to add data into your your application. And in this icon, in this check icon, you can actually see your submit form. You can actually see your submit form function. And if you click on this, you can see the name of the form. Where are you actually submitting it to? You're submitting it to edit form. So I'm going to play it and we're going to scroll down. You can actually add data to this and you can actually see work on this screen. In order to work on this screen, I'm going to show you what you can do on it. You can easily just click on this data card, which is the address, click on this box and click on the box and go to the hover fill property. Go to the hover fill property and change this function to self.fill. So we're going to see the difference. You can see there's that blue. When I'm hovering on it, there's no longer that blue. You can see it's different from what I actually have here. So you can also do that for your application. So we're just going to click on save. So please, do we have any question? Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
Please, for this address, right, the overfill, whatever, I thought like
Yeah.
for the other screen, whenever you make a change to one part, like it was going to affect all the remaining. How comes this one is not affecting all of them?
Okay, this is actually like this screen you're seeing right now is actually you are trying to create new data. You're trying to create new data into your data source, into your Excel sheets. So like this is different. Like for your detail screen, when I click on it and I click on edit, I'm trying to make changes to that data I had before. I'm trying to make changes to it. But when I click on, but when I actually try to go to edit screen is different because I'm trying to create new data. Okay. When I go to
Okay.
edit screen, yeah. When I go to like what we had before, when I went to that particular point, I'm actually trying to create new data into the form. You get to edit and also you also get to create new data into your form. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and there's also one thing too for the assessments. What I was saying that we are going to be going through, this is what we are going to be going through for our assessments. We have time from now till Saturday. We're just going to be building an application. So just going to be going through this. You're going to understand your gallery, how to use your gallery. You're going to understand how to use your form, how to use the different properties, how to build from scratch. So this is all what we are going to be learning for this particular week. And for this, we are going to be using an Excel sheet. So you can see the way I explained about getting your data into OneDrive for Business. So you have to add the data into OneDrive for Business in order to connect the application, in order to connect the data source to your application. Yeah. Thank you. Do we have any other question? Hi, everyone. Do we have any other question? Is there anything you want to ask?
None from my side.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to open my Power App account, but I've not been able to do that. So I was really struggling to open that.
Okay. Have you created the account before now?
Yeah, I tried to do that earlier on, but it didn't take me to this page I saw you working on. It took me to another page, right?
I don't understand. Sorry, I don't understand. You have created your account, like you have created your Power Platform account before today, right?
No, I haven't. But I tried to to create an account. It didn't take me to
Yeah.
this page where you're on. It took me to an entirely different page.
That's okay. That's fine. So what I'll tell you to do right now is that this recording, you can easily just watch through it. But I can actually, maybe I understand what you're asking about. Let's see if I can solve that issue you're asking about. Sorry. Um, okay, is it actually taking you to this page?
Yeah, something like that. Something like this. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so when it takes you to this page, just go to your left-hand side. You're going to see this thing. It's called an app launcher. You're just going to click on it. So when you click on it, you are going to see Power Apps. When you see Power Apps, you click on it. But if you do not see Power Apps at this point, just click on All Apps. Go to search all your apps and search for Power Apps.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. So with
yeah,
that, I'll
that's
be able
it.
to I'll get to the page where you were working on, right?
Yes, yes, you will.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you very much.
sure, no problem. Okay, do you have any other question? Hi everyone, please feel free to answer your question. We are 2 hours late on this call. If you have any question, please ask your question. Is there anything I did when I was going through this slide? Is there anything that you do not understand that you would love to know about? Please feel free to ask your question. Okay, so like I said before, so this week we're going to go through a learning part, which is how to build a Canvas app. You're going to go through the application we just built now. You're going to learn about it. You're going to learn about Canvas app. Then also we are going to go through that Power Apps Lab manual, where you get to go from step to step to build an application from scratch. So I hope that helps everyone. And if you have questions, please don't forget to feel free to ask your questions. Thank you. Hi, Lola.
Hi, Rachel. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Yes, I can hear you. I think we
So,
are through for today.
yes, we are.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just stop the recording while I pass on some information.